What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the blue color, playing as Zeus. His name is Mosca. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Zeus as well. His name is Skady. The map is Alfheim. This is the semi-finals of the BR tournament. Yes, winners finals, I believe. Looks like we've dropped the observers here, and I think this is maybe why there wasn't a live game. There was a little bit of lag maybe in the game. So we'll see what's going to happen as both players moving into Zeus into game number 2. It is a free choice selection, so interesting that players are picking Zeus in the tournament here, this far into the tournament as a pretty solid pick here. I think that you could basically, it doesn't necessarily show which, there's a lot of, okay, let me start this from the start of this. Every single time we have a tournament, balance always comes up. One thing to take from what players do, regardless of win rate, regardless of result, is God pick. What this is it's what players believe is their best chance to win a tournament game. So Skady here believes in this moment, after seeing Mosca picking Ra, he believes his best bet to beat Mosca in this specific game is going to be Zeus. Players play with their best intention, well, not their best intention, players with their best interest as their picks. And it's interesting to take this as a note for the whatever balance people are going to be talking about in the chat. All right, so now we put that out there. That's my opinion on it. So we can move on and say exactly what's going to happen in this chat, in this game here. We do see a lot of Zeus mirrors on the Vublu ladder, and this is going to be a relatively low hunt map, which basically means while it is Alfheim, probably going to be Centaurs here. Now, there is a way to play around this without going Centaur if you don't feel comfortable with the Centaur micro or you don't like that sort of gameplay. On Alfheim, one wall here, one wall here, one wall here, one wall here, and a big fat juicy wall down the bottom here to play around those early game Centaur. Now, how do you do this? Well, you don't go for a 4:30 advance time. You get some early gold income, and you go for more like a 5-minute advance time. Or maybe a 4:45 advance time to get those walls up, because you're going to put those walls up nice and early to play around the center to get the town centers up. And then you've got Athena as your minor god in the classical age, which could work here. Those are the two options. We'll see what these players are going to go for. I know that Skady loves his Centaurs here. He's really, really good with them. Mosca, I'm not 100% sure what he's comfortable with in the Zeus, with the Zeus god. So we'll have to wait and see. As the Black Lotus here is an option for players to pick up. And seeing this relic makes me go as a player who I don't like playing mirror matchups, and if I know my opponent likes that Hermes, I'm more than likely going to want to try and play a little bit of a different style. If I see that relic, I go, this pushes that Athena 2 town center defensive style even further in front, because it means I can go into farms. I don't have to care about moving out around the map, eating potential Aurochs that are in the corner. There aren't any Aurochs here, but any sort of hunt around on the map, I can go for that and feel really, really comfortable where that's concerned. But we'll see how things are going to go as the Mosca villagers, they are going for the Centaur here. We do see the scout sees this a Black Lotus. Super important to pick up that relic here. Unfortunately here, Mosca hasn't gotten out his hero early, and neither, Skady did. Skady did get his hero out. He's got to go for that relic, and he does. So Skady, to kick this game off, has the advantage in a really, really big way. 10% food income boost over the course of a game will mean timings are pushed 30 seconds earlier, 1 minute earlier in this game, which is going to be a big, big thing here for Skady. We'll see if he's going to be able to make use of it or not, though. Other relics here, we've got the Armor of Achilles. This one doesn't matter that much here. It will be an advantage, important to pick it up, but doesn't matter that much. Monkey Head, not going to matter that much here with the relics. Monkeys coming for yourself. Pygmalion statue, on the other hand, that's another really, really important relic to boot here as we see Mosca searching around here as well. Skady, he's going to be able to get this one. He's going to be able to get this relic here, though his Jason goes the wrong way as Mosca hits the classical age there. Going to get his own Jason out, and we do see an immediate talent center here from Skady, which I love this from Skady. Does he get himself out of Centaur as well? He's got the favor for one Centaur, but I love this talent center because Skady recognizes Pygmalion statue and having the what's the relic called? I've already forgotten what it's called. Black Lotus means he can just play a defensive game here. He doesn't have to go for this stupid playing aggressively on the map. Will Mosca make the same decision? Looks like Mosca is getting himself that second Centaur. He's getting himself a third Centaur actually out already. No Town Center coming up. He sees the Town Center of Skady. So he's going to be chasing for the rest of the game here if he just goes for a Town Center himself. At this point, he's going to be behind by at least a minute, which is 4 villages, which over the course of a game, obviously, is a really, really big deal. So he has to pick off at least 4 villages and get the Town Center started yesterday. Mosca here, he's got the resources for Sylvan Law. Is he going to go for that one immediately? One Centaur gets bolted down there as the hero is going to turn around and take this fight on this position. Still no Sylvan Law, so it does look like Town Center is the goer here, as Skady here as well gets himself out his Odysseus here. Is there a bolt down already? No bolt just yet for Mosca here as the Centaur searching around, and Skady is fully walled up now in his base. Completely fine as well. As Mosca retreats back. Jason pushes forward here to get a little bit of damage done. As Skady going to be retreating back here. Mosca at this point, lots of villagers onto his berry. Still no Town Center up. What is he doing? He's getting himself Sylvan Law. Sylvan Law with all the walls up on this map, knowing your opponent's got the farming tech. The only other option here for Mosca is to say, all right, I'm going to take both of the middle town centers. This town center and this town center. This makes some sense from Mosca. 3 town centers right now, and then he can catch up after the fact. Skady going to get himself stables here. Skady needs to recognize this himself here and say, okay, how? Please explain what you are doing inside of Skady's base, Mr. Centaur. Because I don't know. I don't know how you got it. Did you run through here? Maybe. Maybe he just phased through the... he could have just phased through the walls there, I guess. As the temple going to be getting taken out over here, we do see the Centaur roaming up onto this position, searching for something to take. Do see the town center just about to come up. Is Mosca going to go for this town center? Is he going to be going for more units? Those are the questions. He's no longer building Centaur on auto queue, but the villagers are still on favor. As I've said a few times, you have to be very on top of your game as a Zeus player as to when you take those villagers off of the temple. I think that Zeus players oftentimes leave their villagers on the favor way too long. You can just leave 1 villager on it rather than having 3 and be completely fine. As we do see the Centaur here getting sniped down by the Odysseus, and he manages to snipe it. Great player there from Mosca. Good awareness. Mosca now has himself the second town center up. He's got himself 3 villagers on gold. Is he starting more Centaur out here or not? I don't know what he's got to grab this town center. There's nothing else for him to do here. Skady is getting everything he wants at this moment. He is building himself some Hibicon and some Toxotes to move out of his base here. Not really going for many Centaur at all. In fact, he's not going for Centaur in the slightest. One option for Skady here is to get up to Spirited Charge Hippicon as well as an option. And we'll see how things are going to go as the Centaur move forward. I'm not going to be able to snipe a villager there. Good awareness from Skady. Good proactive reaction there. Not going to be losing any HP on the villager at all as the hero is going to come around yet again. And Mosca has to retreat back, and Mosca is not being quick enough to grab this town center just yet. What is he spending his resources on? Farms coming up around this town center here. Plow is up. Skady, on the other hand, he's got his own farm set up. He's got himself plow. He's got himself husbandry. He's got himself all those cows eaten. He's in a fantastic position right now. Snipes the Jason as well. Mosca not going to be able to get that middle town center after having 9 minutes and 30 seconds of map control here. This is looking really, really good for Skady. What can Mosca do to give himself an advantage here? Or at least survive? Well, here's the thing. The small advantages in this Greek matchup matter a little bit. but they don't matter that much. You've got ceasefire, which buys you a minute to like get yourself sorted out and catch up. So playing for the late game here is Mosca's best option. He can't get this town center, but he can get this one. So you can grab that one. If we take a look, I don't have the villager stats at the moment here, but we can probably check it in the post game quickly just to give you a little running total on what's going on. It's 54 to 44. So 10 villager lead for Skady. As this game goes on, you're going to be able to maintain that 10 villager lead probably for about 4 minutes. So 4 minutes of 10 villager lead, if my math is roughly correct there, will mean that Skady gets somewhere in the vicinity of 2,000 resources, 2,400 resources ish in an advantage. So what can you do with 2,400 resources? Obviously get to the mythic age that little bit faster, get yourself some more upgrades that little bit faster, hit a timing or something just that little bit faster. So Skady has to be aware that he's probably got himself 2 minutes or 4 minutes to hit roughly 4 minutes to hit a timing before Mosca is going to be basically catching up, so to speak, and or whatever. So he's got that advantage in the bank here, or should be aware that that's what's going to be happening. As now Skady gets that town center, that's going to push him even further in front, as Mosca cannot afford his own town center just yet. Upgrades also not in for Mosca. Skady doesn't have himself his shaft mine either, but he's going to be heading to that next age. And one thing here that I like from Skady is he stopped producing cavalry. He stopped spending resources in a big way. He's rushing for that heroic age. So he's pushing himself even further in front here by rushing out those military units, because he knows he doesn't need to defend. Just having a handful of units out to defend a town center is going to be enough, as the walls coming up over here for Skady to block Mosca in, as Mosca hasn't put his own walls up in this game just yet. He's tried to block this position off over here, but those are like the only walls he's got, and Skady gets all the advantage there in a big way. As storehouse up on that spot there, farms coming down as well. Villager comes through over here, as he does get spotted by a Hippocon. I love that positioning there by Skady with that Hippocon, as the Hippocon do manage to snipe one villager. That's a big win there for Mosca, but he still needs to find more damage onto Skady, as Skady does react to that one in advance there, pulling away off of that gold mine. Not going to be losing any villagers there. Nice plays. The villagers come onto this gold mine over here, as we see some more military academies coming down here. Mosca getting his farms spread out all across his town centers here. Still sitting only on 2 town centers. This is looking more and more painful here, is Mosca finds a whole bunch of villagers here for Skady, though Skady being a little bit too greedy here, or too risky here with his villagers on that position, as Mosca thought maybe he can get a gold star if he gets some walls up over here. The villagers are on that position there, but Skady is now clicked up through Apollo, and he can go up to full population here. No problems. Get all the resources in that he needs and be completely fine here. Not only that, we do see the Katoskopos on this position, and Underworld here to try and prevent this town center or hit a ceasefire early is another good position there as well. As the hoplites getting taken out. Hippocon's moving forward yet again, looking for something to do. A couple more farms coming up on this position. Archery range, military academy coming down as well. As the Hippocon roaming around here, causing some distractions as the Hippocon come through to try and push through on this position. Mosca's doing a good job of keeping himself in this one with these raids. Skady here, probably a little bit too greedy. Sometimes, maybe if you're going to do a greedy play, instead of building Toxotes, build towers. Get some towers up here would have been a nice play. Crenellations and all the other good stuff can hold these positions much, much better than a handful of Toxotes there as well. As you do see the Hippocon pushing through onto this position here. Villagers here getting farms up, but Mosca going to be pushing down to the bottom side of the map here. Skady has moved into his hoplites to try and deal with these Hippocons here. We'll see if that's going to work out for him. As Skady, I mean, he can get a market up in the top corner. It's exactly what he's going to be doing, pumping his units out to try and hold here. Mosca at this point here, he's gone through Apollo, so he is just a little bit behind, just over a minute here. So he's, I mean, it's just a little bit. He's got lots of resources in the back. Military academies coming down onto this position as well, as the map has been cut in half in a bit of a weird way. I like that. I like what Mosca is doing to kind of get this position sorted for himself. A marker down this bottom corner here to get that trade route up to the top town center is going to be just as good as what Skady's doing on the top side of the map there. But Mosca is behind on population ever so slightly. No, it's actually kind of equal here with Skady losing a lot of units here. I think going into these hoplites was a bit of a mistake, a little bit too early. Hippocon Toxotes beats hoplite Toxotes. We've talked about this before, but what you want to do is you want to move away from those Hippocon when towers come up, because towers obviously beat those Hippocon up really, really quickly. So when you go into hoplites, also you have to get the towers down as well, I guess. As the Hippocon sneaking through here, going to try and take out those villages. We do see Skady pushing through with his own units over there as the Manticore going to be getting pulled back there. Not quite taken out. Good micro from Skady. Good micro from Mosca as well to recognize what's going on there. As Hippocon breakthrough on this spot, going to be pushing through to check out the gold mines yet again. Villages over here as well as Mosca. Really smart move to try and pick off Skady's villages yet again here. How are the upgrades looking? Shaft Mine is in for Mosca. He's still going to be trying to chase Skady. And you can see this. Skady is sitting with 1,000 food at the moment. And a fortress coming up to hold this position is going to be really, really helpful. As the Hippocon hitting the gold of Skady. Skady not paying attention to this one because he's too busy focusing on this position over here. Still not reacting to this. As one villager comes down, Mosca not paying attention there either. But Skady in that position clicks ceasefire, realizing the game is slipping out of his hands here, with Mosca being that little bit too proactive in this game. Skady here not going to be able to finish the fortress off either, and now Skady has to kind of split himself into multiple different positions here. Mosca at this point as well, he's got his market up in a decent position. What I would be thinking about doing here is cutting all of these units here, getting all the resources back, and clicking up to the next age. That's going to be a really, really good play here at this position for Mosca, because Skady, he's going next stage. And you could cut down that difference of 30 seconds to a minute here by doing that. And you would be completely fine to have that happen. We do see fortified town centers coming up. The Hippocon is still searching up here, and Mosca is taking this opportunity to get walls set up on this position. Really, really nice play here for Mosca during the ceasefire to make this happen. Got to be very proactive here. Skady not doing the same here. He's in fact not put these walls back up over here either. As the unit's pushing forward, fortress is still getting completed here as the Manticore going to attempt to get a little bit of damage done, but Mosca going to be retreating back up on this position. We do see some hoplites coming in to defend this raid, and Mosca just going to be retreating away, causing some distraction action there. And Mosca here almost able to advance, still not having the gold here. He could probably stop Hippocon production here, and that would get him the gold and keep making archers if he wants to be a little bit more safe about it. But he is fighting this fight now underneath the fortress, losing a lot of units here. This is a really nice fight for Skady to be taking at this point, and Mosca does recognize it. He clicks up through Hephaestus now. But is it going to be too little too late? Skady's got the timing here. Now, what do you do here? Do you go and rush yourself the safe Forge of Olympus, or do you just rush straight into some Colossus and Heliopolis here, a second fortress, and go for a timing attack with an underworld over here? Yes, there's going to be access to ceasefire, but you can force that ceasefire out here, wander back over here, and then push through this front of the base with a difficult time there for Mosca to hold, as we do see the army, and we do see the Forge of Olympus is decided here for Skady, so we will have that slight advantage versus Mosca. Mosca can just get the same thing here and basically be 30 seconds behind or something, which generally doesn't matter that much so long as you're aware of it as the Greek player. As the bolt comes down onto the Colossus, taking that one out here. Jason gets taken down here as well. Odysseus getting cleaned up there as well. So there's Hippocon still searching around here. And I assume... The thing is that Skady is missing that second fortress at the moment to pump out these Heliopoli. And Mosca here, he's actually managed to push through in this position here and push off of this gold mine. Skady over on this position is getting raided. And Skady's in a really, really difficult position now to actually make any sort of timing happen. Yes, he's gotten himself that Forge of Olympus out, but he can't actually afford to spend any resources on it at the moment because he needs to get his units out here. Mosca's army composition here is actually really helping him out in a big way as the Heliopoli kind of stacking in the fortress at the moment. But the fortress is going to get taken out. Mosca drops himself the armory here. He's going to get that Forge of Olympus. And with all of that timing here that Skady has had, he's only been able to get himself copper weapons out. And I don't think he's even going to be able to afford himself the bronze armor here in this game pretty quick at all here, as we see the fortress getting dropped back up immediately. But Mosca retreats back, and Mosca is going to be able to get himself the upgrades coming in very, very shortly here. What? That's got to be a misclick there from Mosca. That makes no sense. What? All's coming up over here. Is Mosca going to take at least a little bit of opportunity here? Not sure what Mosca was thinking with that ceasefire, but he's going for it. I should be on this one. Hey, just realized that my stuff is looking awkward on the stream. Sorry about that. He does stop the fortress, I guess, from going up, but Skady should be thinking about putting fortresses over here. And it looks like Skady at this moment, he is going for that timing here. He's got hoplites, he's got toxotes. I mean, the question is, does this army comp even work? Mosca is going to have himself a Colossus here as well to take out those Heliopolis. Colossus, as we all know, the best unit to kill off anything here. As Skady pops out over here, Mosca, he has to either use the underworld in offense here or in defense immediately, as his town center is going to be getting targeted down. Sentry tower coming through here. Skady, this is a pretty last-ditch effort to try and take this game back into his favor. As the underworld gets dropped down, the units having to run around a stable. What is that placement there? As the army coming through, the town center going to get torn down. Champion hitting here for Skady. Mosca at this point here, what has he got? Full copper versus Skady's full bronze at the moment. Towers coming up here. What was that play? Now Skady needs to rejig his army and push through the middle at the moment. That reaction from Mosca was really, really, really slow. There's no reason for Skady to be here and be holding this position here and even get that town center down in this position. And look at this now. The Heliopoli are going to be holding here as well. Do we see that fortress is up? Yes, it is. The fortress is up over here. He can start putting some Heliopolis out of this position to hold, but he doesn't have the resources to do it. 0 wood in the bank as well, as Mosca has thrown his position here in a really, really big way, as the Toxote is going to take out the Jason over here. And we'll see if he's going to be able to push through. Villagers pushing in onto this spot here as well by Skady. We'll see if he can hold on or not, as the Odysseus does end up getting taken out. And in that moment, Mosca just taps out. What was that? This game was won for Mosca, in my opinion. He'd put Skady so far behind. He has all of the pressure on this top position here, and he was pushing on the front. How do you take that long to get into an underworld passage? Why do you put it here? Put it next to your army. Get the hill fort in front. Don't worry about the safety of it. Get the army over here. Defend. And win the game. Because I don't have words for this one. Skady had no business making this work here. Skady, I don't know what that ceasefire was either. It has to have been a misclick. Mosca going to be super unhappy about that loss there. This one was well played by him to get back into this game after the kind of terrible start that he had. But he doesn't manage to find the win. Skady levels the series 1-1. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.